Weekly Game Jam 148. The first jam I ever took part in, and the second game I was ever going to make. I was hesitant to join this jam, but I'm really happy I did. It made me realize that I could make actual good games, and without it, I wouldn't be here. Weekly Game Jam 152 was a mistake. I had a really good idea for the game initially, but I just wasn't able to execute it, so I scrapped that idea and went with a really depressing text-based game. I hate it. Weekly Game Jam 165. After working on the same game for about 2 months, I really needed something to take me back to the type of games I was making before I did that. And I'm really happy I did that, because without it, I wouldn't be here. I probably wouldn't even be making games. Weekly Game Jam 177. The most recent jam I took part in. And it's the game jam I'm going to talk about today. Having worked in Gamemaker Studio for about 2 months, I thought I could try to make a game for a game jam this time. I wanted to learn something new though, so I decided to make a 2D platformer, because I had never made a platformer in Gamemaker. Then the theme got announced. It was sticky. I thought, wow, this is a great theme for a platformer. The idea I came up with was adding something that makes the player stick to the walls. So I went with that, and I started working on the game. And because I had never made a platformer in Gamemaker before, I had to follow tutorials. I actually followed only one video by Yo-Yo Games, and those are the makers of Gamemaker, and it was really helpful. Their tutorials are really good, so if you check out Gamemaker Studio 2, use their tutorials. I got the basic controls down pretty fast, so I could start working on the wall stick mechanic pretty fast. I made this by seeing if the player collided with a certain object, and if so, I would change the gravity to go towards the wall the player was sticking to. And of course, I made the player be able to walk up and down on that sticky wall thing. After playing the game for a while, I realized that the controls were pretty boring. So I added a wall slide and a wall jump, and this made the game a lot better. And of course, I wanted to make the game look really nice. So I took about 1 whole day to make pixel art. By the way, I only worked on the game for about 3 days, even though I had a week, because I had an exam week that week. I don't know why I participated. I'm stupid sometimes. Also, if you're curious to how the game looks, here it is. Having made the art for the player as well, I realized that the player looked pretty cute. And I wanted to make them look even cuter, so I added something that is useless. The something that I added was I made the character sit down on its own after 5 seconds of the player doing nothing. I also made the player able to just sit down on command when you just press down. I knew these things were absolutely useless, but I really love them. But then I thought, what if I actually add functionality to the sitting down thing? So what I did at first was make the player jump higher if they were sitting down. This was boring. Why, you may ask? It was because you already could jump, of course, and you could jump higher by just wall jumping, which made the sit jump useless. But I still want to add a different jump though. So for a bit of context right here, about a week before I started making the game, I played Mario Odyssey for the first time. I really liked it, by the way. And what I did the most in that game was long jumping, for some reason. So I thought, why wouldn't I add that to my game? Long jumping. So of course I did that, because plagiarism! It actually isn't though. And the long jump feels pretty good. And it made the player be able to jump farther, which means I could add more different things to the level design, which I'm really happy about. With all that stuff done, I could finally start on the level design. The first level was kind of done already because I had made a test level to test the controls and stuff, and that level was actually a pretty good level to introduce the controls. So I kept that, just tweaked it a bit. When I started making the second level though, I realized that it could be a good idea to make the levels open, to make the player be able to choose their own route. And when I did that, I really liked it. So I did the same thing, not the exact same design of course, but I did the same thing for the third level, which is also the final level. After testing the levels for a few times, I realized that they were really easy. So I added spikes to increase the difficulty by 100%. Oh wait, no, 10,000%. Yeah, again for a bit of context, at the time I was making this game, I was also playing Celeste, and I really liked the difficulty of that game. So I kind of copied that, because plagiarism, and I think I made the game way too hard. Realized that a bit too late though, because it's still in the game, because I didn't have time to fix that. And just like the difficulty, I took the death animation from Celeste too. Because, again, plagiarism! But the last few things I added was a coin counter and a score.
And that score is calculated by taking the time and for every second removing 100 from a set value and adding 100 per coin to the score.
And then at the end of each level you can see how many points you've got. I know I'm bad at explaining things, but yeah, that was everything I wanted to tell you. That was actually everything that is in the game. So before I end the video, I wanted to say that I hit 100 subscribers the day I'm recording this. And wow, I did not expect this. So I really want to say thank you. But there's one person, well, YouTuber I want to thank the most. That is Gamemaker Studios, because they did a community post, this community post, that said that Gamemaker Studios subscribers need to subscribe to me to get me to 100 subscribers. He didn't state that it was my goal to get 100 subscribers this year, but that was the reason why he did that. And I'm really happy that he did. So thank you, Gamemaker, thank you. 25% of my subscribers are from him, I think. So there's one thing I need to say again, because a lot of people don't like that, but I really need to say this. If you like the video, please subscribe and like it. I would really be happy if you did. But for now, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time, hopefully. Bye.